Look, I know what you're thinking. Corey Crawford in net, Henrik Lundqvist in net. Pretty good goaltender matchup there. 2 Stanley Cup rings between the two players, but I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter. The real story is that the legend is back. Scott Foster is back with the Hawks.
Sucker blood. I want to overreact.
What was that?
This is going to be a good game.
Not too shabby. The best game ever. Hello and welcome to Hawks Recap. Game 10 is over and done with for the Hawks. It was a big original 6 battle. The battle of the pizzas, and the Blackhawks win this one by a score of 4-1 at home to the New York Rangers. This was a nice solid win for the Hawks. It was great to see them build off their win against the Ducks in their previous game, put 2 games together, get a little bit of a winning streak going on. Stacking points is always nice in the NHL. Now, the Rangers, they're not a great team, nor were the Ducks. They're kind of in rebuild mode, but they still have decent players. They still have NHL quality players. They are still an NHL team. And in this league, I don't care who you are, you cannot take other teams for granted. You have to come to play every single night. Otherwise, you're in danger of wasting points. And come March and April, you're going to look back and regret it. Thankfully, the Hawks didn't do that. They came to play for the second straight game. They got the job done and got the good win. And as much as we like to harp on the Blackhawks defense, and rightfully so, through the first part of this season here, you got to give them credit here in this game because they played a very solid game, held the Rangers to 19 total shots in this game, 18 saves for Corey Crawford, had life pretty easy in this one, which hasn't really been the story since he's returned, or really last few years here. But in this game, the defense was solid. Yes, there was a couple grade A chances for the Rangers, but any defense will give up those. You can have Nashville's defense. They will give up 1 or 2 grade A chances over the course of the game. But it's about limiting the other chances, the second and the third chances. It's about doing all the other stuff to prevent as much as you can the other team's offensive scoring capabilities. And in this game, the Hawks pretty much did that. Speaking of defense, 3 minutes into the game, the Blackhawks get on the board first. Duncan Keith finds Jonathan Toews in the neutral zone. He takes the puck and races by 2 defensemen for the Rangers who are just falling over each other. It was pretty comical, to be honest. But they leave Henrik Lundqvist just out to dry. Jonathan Toews buries it, puts the Hawks up 1-0. Now, before we move on, I kind of want to take a step back here and just kind of show you guys how great of a play this was by Duncan Keith to set this all up. Obviously, it helped out that the Rangers defensemen fell over each other, but to get this play started, this was a heck of a play by Keith. If you see here, this is very much similar to kind of what a really good NFL quarterback would do. Imagine Toews as the wide receiver kind of doing a slant route. There's this first opening here that Toews kind of fakes the pass into or makes the safety or middle linebacker bite here. That opens up the second lane, and then he gets the puck to Jonathan Toews in that opening, and he's off to the races. Just a great play by Keith. I just wanted to kind of show you guys just how great that was. On the flip side, some not-so-good defense by the Hawks. Well, it starts off with Brandon Manning forgetting how to stick handle, turns the puck over in the offensive zone just when it looked like the Hawks were going to get some really good offensive pressure and some shots and some offensive zone time. But he gives it up, turnover. Rangers take it the other way. Instead, they're the ones that get some offensive zone time and pressure and shots. They get a shot from the point. Crawford, pretty juicy rebound, to be honest. He tries to direct it into the corner, but it's right to Buchnevich's stick, and he just buries it. He was also Brandon Manning's man there. Not a good sequence by Manning. And to be honest, this isn't anything new. It's been a struggle with Manning so far. I didn't really like the signing to begin with, and through these first 10 games, just he hasn't done a whole lot to really reverse that course. I wanted to be wrong, but he just hasn't shown me anything so far. I want him to get better. I want him to turn the page here. I want him to fit into the system, but he just hasn't. Because if he does, it helps out the Hawks, and that's ultimately what matters. But it's been a struggle. So even though the Hawks have been the better team throughout the game so far, and they were the better team throughout this entire game, but at this point, they're outplaying the Rangers, but it's a tie game 1-1 going into the second period, and that's always dangerous because you're outplaying your opponent, but they still have life, and they can grab a lead just with a fluky bounce of the puck. That's all they need. This is hockey. Those things happen. They don't have to be pretty goals. Thankfully, halfway through the second period, the Hawks are the ones that grab the lead. Nick Schmaltz with the puck in the offensive zone, using his speed, wheeling around, creating some separation, creating something, making something happen, finds a lane through a bunch of feet, throws the puck. Backdoor waiting is Alexander Fortin, and he just has to tap it in for his second goal of the year, and the Blackhawks grab a 2-1 lead where they would take that into the third period. Now, the Hawks are up 1 goal in the third period, and for the most of the third period, once again, they're outplaying the Rangers, but it only takes a single bounce or whatever to tie this game up. The Rangers hit a post in this period. Kevin Hayes had a great game for the Rangers. Just couldn't get really anything to go for him. Blackhawks defense shuts things down for the most part, but this is hockey and things can happen very quickly if you make a mistake. Just one single mistake can turn into a tie game. Thankfully, that doesn't happen. Instead, the Hawks extend their lead thanks to Alex DeBrincat chasing down a puck in the corner, wins a board battle against 2 Rangers players, then throws the puck out to Anisimov, who is just wide open. And with Lundqvist kind of playing aggressive towards him for the shot, he throws it backdoor to Kane. He fights off a defender, pots it home, and the Hawks are up 3-1, get that 2-goal lead. Alex DeBrincat would end up putting in an empty net goal later in the game to make it 4-1, and the Hawks grab another 2 points. And just like that, through the first 10 games, the Blackhawks have 14 out of a possible 20 points. That is a great start to this season. Nobody thought they would get out to a start like this, especially after last season, and especially since they didn't have Crawford for the majority of these first 10 games. And for as bad as the defense has been at times, there's been real positives, and this is one of those positives. These games have been big stepping stone games for this team. And hopefully they can take this and continue to build on it throughout the season and just keep moving forward in a positive direction. Unfortunately, the rest of the division is also playing pretty well right now, minus the Blues, and that's okay. But this is the Thunderdome. This division is insane. It's going to be this way throughout the rest of this year. Just get used to it. But right now, the Hawks with 14 points are tied for second place, and that's pretty nice. Thanks for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that as always. If you really want to go above and beyond to support me, there are also Patreon and merch links down in the description. But most importantly, as always, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.